everyone, and welcome back. My name is Ashley, and I've been busy these last few days, and I'm so excited to show you all what I've been up to. I have been planting up, transplanting things into the East Garden, moving my shrubs in here, and I feel like once it starts to fill out, it's gonna go from empty, vacant, ugly side lot that we just have to manage weeds on to maybe something that can be quite beautiful. So I'm just going to take you through here. We cleared out this, we had a big blackberry bush here, and it was just wild, and it crushed so much of it crushed so many of the branches of the hydrangea plant, so it's very misshapen right now, but it's going to bounce back and they're going to be beautiful. So in here, I actually transplanted our iceberg rose tree into this spot, and it actually was very beautiful before we transplanted it, but it was so big and so thorny that we had to cut it all the way back to be able to transplant it without injury to ourselves. But that should flush back in no time, and I hope that it's going to take up this space and provide some really beautiful visual interest and height into this area. And so right in here, we have our beautiful sunshine ligustrum. So all of these shrubs, this beach ball pittosporum and this sunshine ligustrum, I planted them 2 falls ago. So they've been in for 2 years, and I just love the foliage of this and the beauty, the color, the greenery of it. So I've actually repeated that down the way on the other side. I also put in a radiance abelia here where we had a rosemary shrub, and I'm hoping that it kind of just grows in. It grows wider than it does tall. It gets to about 3 feet tall, and then it gets to about 3 to 5 feet wide. So I'm hoping that it kind of grows and rambles out into this area here. We have the Amelanchier tree. This is Autumn Brilliance, and right now it just looks like a messy shrub. I'm going to come through very soon, and I'm going to be limbing it up. There are all kinds of little limbs coming up in here, and I don't want that many, so I'm going to be actually cleaning it up in here and actually taking all the foliage off until we get higher up on the branches to actually get it to start looking more like a tree. And so in this area, I actually shopped my little nursery bed, and I planted 4 Canoe birches. Oh, this one broke off clearly in the transplant. So yeah, I had these kind of stashed away in a little nursery bed, and decided that a cluster of them out here would be beautiful because this is going to really provide some beautiful shade in the afternoon. They're going to get to be quite tall. They get to be 40, 50 feet tall, and they have the Canoe birches are the beautiful white peeling bark, very similar to the ones that we have in the front garden. And then they're going to turn a beautiful yellow in the fall time, which I really wanted, like a yellow fall tree. So I think that that's going to be really beautiful. And then over this way, here we planted the other iceberg rose tree, and we cut it back as well. And then around the edges, I planted 3 of the fire and ice hydrangeas. So I think that this is going to be a beautiful little cluster of blooms in this otherwise empty space right here. And I need to do some work on my trees to limb them up, but that'll be another video. And so this is where our pittosporum, this was back in the back garden, and I transplanted it up here. It looks a little dehydrated, but other than that, it's actually taken to the transplant really well. And I expect this kind of behavior and this kind of outcome, but we're doing it in mild temperature. It's a nice cool fall day today, so I think everything is going to be just fine. And I also transplanted, I think these are pink crystal grasses. They were on the very end of the East Garden bed, and I have moved them to kind of create a cluster planting right over here, just because I like them. I just didn't know exactly where I want them to be, so that's kind of where they're going to be for now. And then right here on the very end is where I have done most of the work, and we're going to start right over here. I transplanted 3 of my little Nellie Stevens hollies into this area. One here, one there, and then the third one right here. Nellie Stevens, they get to be quite tall. They can be 25, 30 feet tall. I plan on size controlling them. They take really well to clipping, so they're never going to get to grow to be that kind of height. But I am hoping that it forms with the arborvitae here, with the North Poles that we have. I'm hoping that it creates a nice little cocooned corner on this end. I also planted this raspberry lemonade 9-bark here that I actually found on clearance at Home Depot, at Lowe's. So it was only 17 bucks for a nice sized shrub. It's really beautiful. These are beautiful for cuttings to put into bouquets, and I am very excited about using them. Apparently, the more you cut, the more they grow. So I'm hoping that that is going to be a really good source of greenery for my bouquets. I also left my silver dollar eucalyptuses in here. I am planning on taking these out and potting them up. I'm going to put them on pots on my patio for good texture and foliage. This is the other pittosporum that was moved from the back garden, from the sunny border. And these get to be about 15 to 20 feet tall, depending on if I let it. It's also a little dehydrated, but it will be just fine. This is a gardenia that was already here, and it's throwing out some beautiful white blooms. I believe that this is, I'm going to put the correct name up under the screen. I will find out what variety that is. And then I have planted in here some orange rocket barberry because I have a lot of green, so I wanted a difference in texture. And as you can see, these are all already mingling and growing together, and I just love that look. I really am super into foliage and texture and the combinations that can be created by mixing and matching and playing with things like that. These are spring bouquet viburnums that were already here. And I have one here and another one right here. And I transplanted this buddleia butterfly bush from the backyard. And yes, I know it looks sad and pathetic, but I don't think that you can kill this shrub. And like I said in a previous video, I literally whack it back to the ground and it just comes back healthy, strong, and vigorous. So I am very confident that come the spring, I'll whack it back and it will come back just as it always has. This right here is new to me. I haven't grown one of these before. This is a sweet pea shrub, but when I saw it at the garden center, it's almost more like a succulent, the texture and the feel and the look of the leaves, and I just think it's beautiful. And it gets to about 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide. It has these beautiful, delicate little purple flowers on them. And if something is flowering this time of year, that is a major plus in my book. And from what I read about them, they actually keep like quite a tight, a dense, rounded, mounded habit. And I absolutely love those kinds of plants. So this was we'll see how it goes and how it does here. And then I actually think that I may just be collecting even more of those. Okay, so right here we have a drift of one of my favorite plants that we have on the other end. This is Sunshine Ligustrum. So they are like a beautiful light green to a chartreusey, kind of beautiful light, bright yellow, yellow-green. And I just think that they are beautiful in contrast with the orange rocket barberry behind it. I think that they are going to fill out and be quite beautiful altogether. This is a bluebeard. I can't remember the name of this shrub exactly, but I know that it gets to be about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, has a pretty mounded habit, and it has those pretty spikes of pink flowers that are just absolutely beautiful. So I think it's really going to light up this spot. And I'll put the name under the screen because sometimes names just elude me, especially when I'm trying to film. I find that. And then flanking kind of the corner or the swoop of this area, we have more radiant abelia. And so these are kind of low mounding, dense habit. They have beautiful flowers on them that the pollinators absolutely adore. And these look like they have little buds on them right here. Here's one of the little flowers. They have little white flowers, which are just beautiful. But I am really hoping that they kind of fill out and take up a lot of this ground space right in here. And as you can see, this one has a little bit more. And so those are the shrubs that we have put in. I also have many perennials that I'm starting from seed. I'm planning on putting out some of the trilobal rudbeckia and feverfew that I have started indoors, and I think that that's going to be absolutely beautiful in here. I also have lots of lupin that I started from seed that are going strong inside that I would love to fill out and work into this area. But I really feel like this is a good kind of starting framework for a low maintenance, full cottage garden look, which is what I'm going for. I'm leaning heavily on the shrubs out here because honestly, shrubs are the lowest maintenance way to get blooms and flowers and foliage, and usually with very little maintenance, very little care, and that's what I need out here in this area. So we'll be doing more of that, but I feel like this is a pretty good place to start with. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm excited to see how it all grows in together, and I'm happy. I'm very grateful that I got to be able to share it with you guys, and I hope that it inspires you to kind of get out into your ugly, forgotten areas. I'm being attacked. I hope it encourages you guys to get out into your ugly, forgotten, neglected areas and, you know, just feel a little encouraged that you can add a little spot of green to that area. And sometimes that makes all the difference. So thank you all so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a wonderful day and have a chance to get out and enjoy this beautiful fall weather wherever you are. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you next time.